Guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to hang with me a little bit on the video. Always grateful for that. Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about something that I can't believe I'm going to do. I have got a tournament Saturday, a BFL tournament at Truman Lake, and I'm not going to have any practice for it at all. I got to go up there and fish the tournament cold. I'm going to explain to you why, and more importantly, the point of the video is I'm going to talk to you about how I'm going to approach this tournament with no practice in it. And it might give you guys a good, maybe a good foundation to help locate fish quickly when you don't have a lot of time to do so. So I'll sort of give you my thought process on how this is going to go down on Saturday, not having any practice or any knowledge of what's going on at the lake there. Also guys, just real quick, this weekend's Father's Day. Wanted to remind you about the Father's Day sale on my SolarBat RB2 and RB3 series sunglasses. If you get a pair before Father's Day, if you order them over the next 2 or 3 days, get them at 25% off. I'll put the SolarBat link in the description along with all the other links like my tackle warehouse. That is a good way to support the channel if you guys are inclined to do so. Okay guys, I'll tell you sort of what happened here a little bit. You guys have probably been with the channel for a while. You know that for the last 3 years I've been working with BoatWorks here in Springfield, Missouri to get my boat. And anyway, BoatWorks went out of business. So I had to turn my boat in. I had a deal with them that I help promote the dealership using the boat. So I had to turn my boat back in this past week. So I'm boatless right now. I'm between boats, which is another story. We'll get into that as far as what I'm going to be doing for my next boat in another video. But anyway, a buddy of mine is going to let me use his boat for the tournament, but I can't get it tomorrow. So I'm not going to have any practice for this tournament at Truman Lake coming up there. But I sort of wanted to give you guys what my approach is going to be, and I think it might help you all if you're ever in the same situation or if you don't have a lot of time to practice or catch fish. So first of all, I haven't been to Truman Lake in over a year. I don't know really anything that's going on up there. I haven't followed any of the thing that's going on up there. The only thing that I can really access at this point is what the conditions are on the lake, what the water level is. So right now the water, we've had a lot of rain here in Missouri, and the water, I think it's probably 5 or 6 feet over normal, which means there's going to be a lot of flooded cover in the lake. So that is right up my alley. I love fishing flooded cover. So that's the first clue or the first piece of information I got that's going to sort of tell me how I need to fish and where I'm going to fish at. So first of all, my approach on this thing is like, I know the water is 5 or 6 feet high. So of course, guys, I don't know what the deal is. Like every single time I do a video, it's like the neighbors fire up the mower, or next door you can probably hear it or something. It's like a plane goes over, a train or whatever. So try to close the garage door here. So anyway, my first bit of information here is the water's going to be high. So I know right off the bat that I'm going to be flipping in this tournament. It's June, water's high in the bushes. There's going to be some fish up in the bushes. I'm not saying all the fishers are going to be in the bushes, because on any lake, when you have the water come up, you have half the fish that are going to be deep in June. There's probably going to be a lot of fish out on the deep points. Guys are going to be spotlighting them, catching them on deep crankbaits and whatever their little forward-facing minnow is. But there's also going to be a percentage of the fish that are going to be shallow, which I'm going to target. So right off the bat, I'm going to eliminate a lot of techniques. In this particular tournament coming up, just given the fact that I know the water's high, and that's the only thing I know about it, I'm going to rig up 4 flipping sticks, 4 to 5 flipping sticks, and I'm going to have probably a jig on one. I'm going to have maybe a creature bait on one, maybe a couple worms on another one, and maybe have one. Let's just leave one open, and I'm going to have a couple different colors up there, a couple different weight sizes. I don't really know what color I'm going to use because I don't know what the water clarity is. So I'll probably, when I get up there, first morning of the tournament, I'll have my flipping gear rigged up with my weights and my jigs and stuff, but I probably won't have the bait on there until I get to where I want to fish at, and then I'll look at the water clarity and I'll determine the bait. So the next thing that I've got to do is I've got to determine where I want to fish at. I know Truman Lake fairly well. I haven't fished it a lot this time of year, although I did win a Central Pro-Am tournament up there in June, back 20 years ago, but the water was normal level. So what I've got to look for, my next piece of information, is I've got to determine where I feel the best flooded cover is going to be. So the flooded cover is going to be normally on the flats, so that's what I'm going to concentrate on. When I go up there the first morning of the tournament, I'm gonna start running down the lake, and I'm gonna start running till I find some good looking flats with some, flooded cover on it, and I'm gonna start fishing. And, I'll probably, pull the first stretch I go to, I'll pull down there, I'll probably fish for 15, 20, maybe 25 minutes. If I'm catching some fish, great, I'll keep working it and try to duplicate it. If I don't catch fish, I'm gonna keep moving. I'll keep running down the lake, and I may go back into some flatter coves, and I may try some coves, the flooded cover in there. I may fish some of the main lake stuff. I'll bounce around a lot until I start getting a few bites. Now, the bites, what you're gonna find on a situation like that, there's normally an area of the lake that has the best flipping in it. And that best flipping is usually a combination of, you've got the right water clarity, you've got a diversity of cover, you've got some access to flats and deeper water. There's a lot of different things that go into that. But the main thing that I have to figure out is I got to figure out, are these fish on the main lake? Are they in the coves? Are they in the creeks? Are they on isolated bushes and flooded stuff? Are they in maybe some type of a debris mat? Are they in willow trees? Are they in buck brushes? Just trying to determine like that. Now, there's a lot of different techniques that could possibly work when you have high water. So I'm thinking in my mind, okay, flipping is probably going to work. You might be able to catch some on a spinnerbait or a chatterbait or a swim jig, or top water around the bushes, but you can't do everything. Since I don't have any practice, I don't have a lot of time to experiment. So I have to go with the techniques that I feel are the highest percentage to get me a bite, that I'm not wasting time. So that's where I'm going to be pitching and flipping. And pitching and flipping, guys, it's a real sensitive deal in terms of if the fish are using that cover or not, because how many fish and the quality of the fish that go into flooded cover has a lot to do with the water level, the water clarity, how fast or how slow the water's risen, how many fish are using any other type of cover that they have, deeper water cover. But the main thing is you have to commit to that. And I have never been to a tournament really when the water is this high that you can't find some type of pitching and flipping fish. And this isn't gonna be the same. It doesn't matter. This is just Truman Lake coming up here. It doesn't really matter, the conditions. Every lake is gonna have a different set of conditions when you get there if you don't have any practice on it. But the main thing that you have to do is you have to isolate the lake down to a smaller part. It's like when you don't have time to practice and you don't have time to try everything, you have to put yourself in what is considered a high percentage area as far as where you think that your best odds of catching fish are. And one of the easiest ways to do that, if you don't know a lake very well, is pick out one or two major creek arms and just go in those creek arms and make those your lake for the day. Say, for example, if you have a creek that's maybe 2 or 3 miles long off the main lake, and you've got a 30, 40,000 acre lake, just go into that creek and fish everything in there and make that your little lake. And by doing that, you reduce the lake down to just a couple thousand acres, which is manageable for a day's time. But anyway, I can't remember the last time I've been to a tournament where I actually didn't do any practicing for it. So it's like, it messes with your confidence a little bit because you don't really know what to expect. I mean, you've got this sense of anticipation and excitement from the unknown, but at the same time, it's really good to have some practice time because you sort of know where you need to go and maybe some things you need to try. So there's tomorrow on Saturday when I go up there for the tournament, I may get on them right off the bat. It may take me a long time to get on them. I may not even get on them at all. But that's sort of the scenario I was in since I got my boat taken away from me, this past week. So it sort of is what it is on that. But anyway, my buddy's got a 1985 Ranger, 350. I think it's a 354 with the old GT Evinrude on it. He says it doesn't run but like 35 miles an hour. So it's going to be an interesting day in my buddy's boat there. So anyway, guys, hope you all are well, and I'll let you guys know how it goes on Saturday, and we'll talk later.